AmazonMusic.com. Renews automatically. Cancel anytime.
He's here. He's here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, everybody. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. I want you to listen again to the South Korean announcement at a little after 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, which is the basis for almost all the reporting at this point this evening. This occurred exactly an hour ago. Go right ahead.
Today, I had the privilege of briefing President Trump on my recent visit to Pyongyang, North Korea. I'd like to thank President Trump, the Vice President, and his wonderful national security team, including my close friend, General McMaster. I explained to President Trump that his leadership and his maximum pressure policy, together with international solidarity, brought us to this juncture. I expressed President Moon Jae-in's personal gratitude for President Trump's leadership. I told President Trump that in our meeting, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said he is committed to denuclearization. Kim pledged that North Korea will refrain from any further nuclear or missile tests. He understands that the routine joint military exercises between the Republic of Korea and the United States must continue. And he expressed his eagerness to meet President Trump as soon as possible. President Trump appreciated the briefing and said he would meet Kim Jong-un by May to achieve permanent denuclearization. The Republic of Korea, along with the United States, Japan, and our many partners around the world, remain fully and resolutely committed to the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Along with President Trump, we are optimistic about continuing a diplomatic process to test the possibility of a peaceful resolution. The Republic of Korea, the United States, and our partners stand together in insisting that we not repeat the mistakes of the past, and that the pressure will continue until North Korea matches its words with concrete actions. Thank you.
There you have it. Now, I take some solace in knowing that on our side we have Trump. But I also understand, and most of you understand, that this has been a tactic of the North Koreans for decades. When they need money, when they need food, when they need energy, they come to the table, they negotiate, they make concessions in exchange for subsidies for the purpose of holding up this decrepit, crumbling regime, especially their military and their police state. They get what they need, they get a shot in the arm for a period of years, and then they break the deals. This is a history of over 30 years. So we'll be looking at this with extreme skepticism. All I can say is I'm very pleased that Donald Trump is in the Oval Office and not Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. Truly. And I believe the president has handled this situation with North Korea brilliantly. Brilliantly. I am also concerned that over at the State Department and other bureaucratic elements within the administrative state, that they will be pressing the president to make deals, whatever deals he can make, and so forth and so on. The president has said many times, and correctly, I've said it too, that his predecessors have put off making the tough decisions. Almost every one of his predecessors has been faced with what the president is facing this moment. Appeals by North Korea for discussions, for deals. Even if they sign a denuclearization agreement, do you understand they've signed it before? That North Korea promised not to develop nukes? And then one day, Kim Jong-un's father said, okay, the deal's off because of these provocations from the United States. That's the problem. So they could be buying time to further perfect their ICBMs and their nuclear weapons. That's what they've done in the past. All right. That's on the table. I want you to know about it. I want to raise another issue. We've talked about a lot of heavy stuff tonight. I have a good time doing it. I hope you do too, as we go through these things. I want you to listen to Louis Farrakhan on February 25, 2018. There's a reason for this. Many of you know what it is. But you haven't heard me talk about it yet. There's Louis Farrakhan at the Savior's Day address, February 25, 2018, just a few weeks ago. Cut 14, go.
The FBI has been the worst enemy of black advancement. Can you prove that, Farrakhan? See, the Jews have control over those agencies of government. This enemy, he's so angry with Farrakhan that now if you like me, you have to either hide it, especially if you want advancement in the white man's world. Now, if you go to work tomorrow and Jews are your boss, don't tell them where you've been.
Mm-hmm. So he's a Jew hater, an anti-Semite. He said more. Cut 15, go.
I don't care what they put on me. The government is my enemy. The powerful Jews are my enemy. And scared to death Negroes are my enemy. And weak Muslims and hypocrites are my enemy. But here I stand.
And more. Cut 16, go.
So don't even weep if you hear that I'm dead. Say that boy did his job. The world will never be the same again. White folks are going down. And Satan is going down. And Farrakhan, by God's grace, has pulled the cover off of that satanic Jew. And I'm here to say, your time is up. Your world is through. And the good Jews, you better separate from these satanic Jews lest they take you down to hell with them, because that's where they're headed.
Now this Hitlerian, has he been denounced by prominent Democrats? Has he been denounced by prominent Democrats? Has he been denounced repeatedly by members of the media on MSNBC and CNN? I'm not talking about here and there. This man is poison. He's poison. Yet Democrat candidates campaign with him. Democrats break bread with him. There's a piece in The Federalist by Warren Henry. He says, what would the establishment media reaction be if tens of members of Congress met with one of America's most notorious racists and anti-Semites and refused to denounce him? or if the leaders of one of America's hottest social movements embraced him. If the bigoted question is Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who's blamed Jews for the 9/11 attacks, said white people deserve to die, and praised Adolf Hitler, the answer seems to be not much, at least not when those embracing him are Democrats and progressives. The genesis of this story was the revelation that a photograph of then Illinois Senator Barack Obama and Farrakhan at a 2005 Congressional Black Caucus meeting was suppressed for years for political reasons. Obama had previously criticized Farrakhan's racist and anti-Semitic statements. Moreover, during his presidential run, Obama found himself on the hot seat by both embracing his own minister, the controversial Reverend Jeremiah Wright, and disowning him a month later. And unsurprisingly, the media applauded Obama both times. After the photo surfaced, conservative media, particularly the Daily Caller, began re-examining the ties between Farrakhan and the Congressional Black Caucus. In an interview with Peter Hassan, Representative Danny Davis defended Farrakhan as an outstanding human being, Davis being from Chicago, Illinois. The Anti-Defamation League, which is going increasingly soft on elected Democrats, that's because it's now run by an Obama sycophant, initially responded by claiming Davis had told them his remarks praising Farrakhan were taken out of context. But when Davis then confirmed his original opinion of Farrakhan and said he was unsure why the ADL believed he was misquoted, the ADL was forced to say they were deeply disappointed with Davis. Hassan also contacted the offices of 20 other Congressional Black Caucus members who attended the 2005 meeting. Not one of them denounced Farrakhan. Now, if you thought big media would be interested in the story of public officials cozying up to a virulent bigot, you'd be mistaken. Journalists rationalized their dismissal of the story by saying that the Congressional Black Caucus members, like Davis, are basically invulnerable in their congressional district. One big flaw in this defense is that House incumbents are generally invulnerable in their districts. Perhaps the media should stop covering Congress. Another big flaw in this defense is that the progressives' affinity for Farrakhan extends beyond Congress. At least 3 leaders of the so-called Women's March have been on friendly terms with Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. March co-president Tamika Mallory called Farrakhan definitely GOAT, definitely GOAT, while Carmen Perez shared a photo of herself holding hands with him in videos of the minister, speaking truth to power. March co-chair Linda Sarsour, who appeared at a 2015 Nation of Islam event, has publicly claimed that anti-Semitism is different than anti-black racism or Islamophobia because it's not systemic, something that will come as news to Jews throughout recorded history. And it goes on. He says, as I write this, outside conservative media and Jewish media, the Ford, Tablet, Jewish Telegraph Agency, Eretz, the Daily Beast, the New York Daily News, Newsday, Yahoo, they've been exceptions to the general rule. But at this moment, neither the New York Times nor the Washington Post have found it news fit to print, though both covered a surreal Saturday Night Live sketch that had Farrakhan phoning into Fox and Friends. The left in this country has been growing increasingly anti-Semitic. Let's just call it what it is. They've embraced the more radical elements of the Palestinians and the Arabs generally. They despise the state of Israel. The Democrat Party is a safe place for people like Keith Ellison, who worked for Farrakhan's organization, who called himself Keith X. And he's done the best he can to cover up his past, and I've done the best I can to uncover it. He was almost voted the chairman of the Democrat National Committee. He had to settle for co-chairman. He's the co-chairman of the Democrat National Committee. These members of the Congressional Black Caucus proudly celebrate Farrakhan. Proudly.